Hey guys, it's Weird the Bushman. I was gonna make a second rant by daylight today. Just letting you know, I have a brand new, really good quality mic, which I'm gonna be using for this. So hopefully there is a massive difference in terms of quality. But I'm gonna be testing it out with this newer mic. But first off, I want to start with saying there's a lot of things I'm gonna be talking about this one. This one's gonna be a lot longer than the first rant by daylight. You'll notice that there's not new gameplay in the background. I apologize. I'm going to get more footage for the background later on. But I do want to get this out there as quick as possible, because right after this I'm going to post my tier list, which I know people have been waiting on for a while. So my DVD tier list will be, I'm going to say, give it maybe a week. Give me a week, because I got to move around a lot of stuff. I was going to post it. I just decided I'm going to restart from the beginning, because there's a lot of characters that obviously got buffed. This recent change, so I'm gonna wait until after that to make the tier list. But without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into it. But there's a lot I'm going to be talking about, mostly on Billy, some on Blight. There's a lot of things I need to be talking about Blight. A lot of good perk changes, some good, not so good. There's definitely a lot of changes I need to talk about there. And I thought they were going to release a new map, but I guess it's not with this patch, it's later on. And then the changes to Ormond, which I actually think are good, which I was a little scared of when they said they were going to change it. But yeah, we're going to get straight into it. But make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe if you guys want to keep up on more stuff. Alright. So the first thing I want to start with is the new survivor in the game, new chapter, aka mid-chapter patch. Alan Wake is the new survivor. As the new survivor into the game, I think that one of the obviously most iconic, not most iconic, but pretty iconic character you could put as a survivor from a horror franchise. Although I will say that his perks are a little underwhelming, I do think they could receive some buffs. Guardian of Light is really cool. I'm a fan of it. But the other two, I'm not a huge fan of. The Boon and the skill check one are just not strong. They could definitely either have a second effect or just be changed before live. Although the survivor's cool, the voice lines are cool, the perks are a little underwhelming. But to be fair, we did get a lot of good changes outside of Alan Wake. If it was just Alan Wake, it would be quite disappointing. But we've gotten changes with characters like the Hillbilly, Blight, Sadako, etc. I'm going to start with Billy, just because I think that's what everybody's talking about right now in the Dead by Daylight community. It's what everybody's going crazy over. And it's for a good reason. He's deserved this buff for a long time. He's been bottom of my tier list every single time. Definitely deserved a rework, and boy is he good now. I would say if it's hard to place him on like how strong he would be because it's so early, but he's strong. But I do think the Billy changes are great. They might have to tone him down just a little bit, just because his win rate's a little high, but it's not like super out of the park strong. So I think you could probably see him staying relatively the same at a launch. If he's not, I think people are going to be quite disappointed. But the Hillbilly changes, I would say, are mostly positive. There's a few add-ons here and there that they could tone down. Base kit maybe tone down. Maybe the time it takes for you to get to overdrive. But other than that, Billy's changes are great. And if you want to see stuff about Billy, I'd recommend watching this video. I'll link it in the description as well. Just like, you kind of have to see it to believe it, kind of thing. There's not really a way I can word it that's gonna make sense. You kind of have to just see Billy to believe it. If you haven't seen it, I totally go recommend and watch this. Now I'm gonna move on to Blight. So Blight's changes are in a weird spot, because Blight obviously is the second strongest killer in the game. He's been for a while now. Mostly due to his add-ons. When his add-ons have gotten reworked, most people expected a nerf. He did not get nerfed, which I think is a problem, because he's still very strong, very high win rate, very simple to play. I do think Compound 33 needs, I think it's a cool idea, it just needs to be toned down in numbers. Maybe have a downside of some sort. And Eerie Tag is bugged, so I can't judge it. But what it's initially meant to do is only have 3 extra rushes, but it's worded so weird. I don't know why. It's like a doctor add-on. I would just reword it to adds 3 tokens, increase, and adds a cooldown of 20 seconds, right? Like, there's no reason to have it be as complex as it is, and that's probably the reason it's bugged. Instead of making it simple, they had to create something new. And Eerie, like, obviously, Alchemist Ring is definitely a nerf, but it's still strong. It should be more like about, it doesn't even have to be a lot, it could be like 15. Like, nerf it a little bit. There's no reason for it to be 20. Increase duration of the rush. It's just crazy. And the speed add-ons, not surprised those got toned down. It's barely like a flick on the wrist, it's still really good. And base kit's still the exact same. So I'll tell you, he's still gonna be S tier. Maybe A plus if they find a way to nerf him, but at the moment he is still S tier. Still very strong. So don't expect him to go anywhere on any tier list. But yeah, next I do want to talk about Sadako as well. Because the Sadako changes I am also positive on, similar to Billy. Unlike Light, which I think they are going to change. Sadako I think is in a great spot right now. Like, great spot. Better than the initial rework, better than the rework. I'd say this is where they need to keep her. It's a perfect balance between old Onryo and new Onryo, while being decently strong. Basically, it incentivizes slugging, you're hooking people, it's promoting fun gameplay for both sides. She's good now, she's not as bad, not as brain dead anymore either. I think she should be left the way she is. The add-on changes are great. Whoever was in charge of Sadako did a great job, similar to the Hillbilly. But yes, I can't really say anything else about Sadako other than it's great. And then the perk changes, save the best. Not many people are happy about it, but I don't know what people expected when they saw Save the Best on there. It was a strong perk for Killer, it was gonna get nerfed. Although I would have reworked it a different way, as I do think it indirectly nerfs characters like Demo, who kind of need that perk to be decent. So I do think they need to readdress what they're nerfing, but I do agree that it does need some sort of nerf. But I think the way they nerfed it is not how they should have, if that makes sense. And then the other perk changes, Grim Embrace is great. I love the changes for that. I've always had hopes that Grim Embrace would someday be good, because I loved the idea, I loved the concept, but it just wasn't good. And then other perks like Quick Gambits, some other perks they changed. Monitor's not even a buff, it's just a nerf, hard nerf. Shadowborn, it needs a second effect. Not great. But yeah, I'd say most of the perks I'd say are not positive, but not bad either. Like they're acceptable basically. The FOV slider is great to replace Shadowborn and Monitor, but one of the problems is they either needed a second effect on Shadowborn. I think what I would have done is haste on a flashlight blind or maybe a stun, right? Like put it on a stun or a blind. I feel like would make it a little bit better. And for Monitor, I really am disappointed that there was no second effect. That's really one of the only bad things I have to say about it, as somebody who runs Monitor occasionally on characters like Hag, that I play a lot. I really wanted to see a second effect on Monitor, especially with FOV being base kit now. I'm not sure if I'm going to run it anymore. An 8-meter decrease in your Terrorities, it's not going to matter that much, you know, like that barely matters on Hag. I'm gonna run it on Hag, but I don't see anybody running it on anybody else. So I do hope that it gets some sort of change. And for the actual changes to bugs and stuff, great. Night is still disabled for some reason, in case you're wondering. Nowhere to Hide is still disabled. We have awesome skins coming to shop. I'll put an image on your screen just so you can see it. I saw this a day or two ago. Super sick skin for Singularity. Awesome skin for Nurse. I hope those come soon. I'm probably gonna get both of those. If they're shards, that is. I know they always launch hard cells. But yeah, I just wanted to. I think I finished everything. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Or mostly everything. If I missed something, let me know. I'll make a Rant by Daylight 3. All I'm gonna say is the next video is gonna be a tier list. I know I've postponed it way more than I should have. The tier list I wanted to delay because of these changes, and I do think I needed a Rant by Daylight first. So I did take the video I already edited and basically remove the voice and put this new voice over it. And I have been using a new mic. Hopefully you guys like the quality of it, and it sounds fine. But yeah, I'm hopefully going to post this, and I am going to be online today most of the day. We're also going to host a tournament, a competitive customs, so do keep an eye out for those, just to see if who is the strongest out of our small little community we got here. But yeah, as usual, make sure you guys drop a like. It lets me know that this is the content you guys like. Let me know if it's worth my time. It does not take long at all. I'm telling you right now, these kind of videos are very easy to do. So if you guys like these, don't worry about like time spending. I can do this in a day. I literally just got out of bed and made this in about 5 minutes. It was relatively short. So if you guys like this, definitely drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.